Good morning, beautiful beings. I missed you. We're going to start with a smudge. Since we haven't done one in a while. We haven't been on the live, so we're going to do this together. Cleanse that. This Christmas is so close. We bring it into the heart. We bring it into the throat chakra, the mouth, so our words go through the heart and are expressed. The truth. Our eyes, the third eye, so we can see within and we see without all the beauty. Within and without. Here, so we hear all those loving messages that come in. Those loving messages to come pass through us. Here and all over the aura. Cleanse all that space. I want it all. So now let's cleanse. Let's get right to. All right, we're going to clear those deceptions. We can see the truth and not get worried. Know that we have everything we need. It's Christmas, whatever you're celebrating. It's divine. He's perfect. You are divine. Perfectly imperfect is what I like to say. Here we are. That cleanse all over you. There we go. So make wedge to that sage. Make wedge. Yes. Make wedge. Good to see you. I apologize for not being here. I did do a reading on Friday. This was the overall energies, the inner peace, the praying for the inner peace, and the messenger. Oh, I am Wingishni Bay, Majeki Kwe, that's Straight Grass Water Medicine Woman, Christiana Carr, and also Chrisika Superstar. Yep, this is divine being right here. Yes, good to see you. I missed you. So anyway, Friday, as I was uploading it, something happened and then it corrupted the file, and now there I have, it's just an exclamation point where that video should be. So, but this was the cards. I had left them out. It was very discouraging. The Earth connection had jumped out. There was another jumper in there too. So remember, when we're getting all scattered all over the place, as can happen this time of year, to stay grounded, pray for that inner peace, and watch for those messages that are coming into us, right? But we need to find that inner peace and find that stillness in that quiet to do it. And this was very cool. See the ones and the twos? Because here we had our right, the female, and the male. I can't remember how they were, but this was interesting too. 30, 22, and here's 20 and 33. Okay, so we look at that unlimited vision, right? But we need to pay attention to those details too and follow those details. The signs will give us those details in the next step to take. That's why we need that mouse medicine, right? But mouse can also chew every little detail to bits, so we don't want to chew things to bit, but we want to have a look at the details and how to get to this higher vision. Right? So I think that was the insight. This was Fridays, but this helps for today too. It doesn't matter whenever we're watching, right? And those fears, what have we been afraid of? And can we laugh at ourselves for those fears that we have called in, right? Like rabbit calling in, I'm not afraid of you, ego. We can acknowledge that we have those fears, but we don't need to go out and call them into a being, right? We can acknowledge, yes, this makes me fearful. And what is it about that? And can I laugh at myself? Is it something to really be afraid of? Right? Or is it something that we've created in ourselves that it was actually, right? That worry is like sitting in the rocking chair, and that anxiety. You rock faster, but you're still going to be in that same spot, right? So laugh at yourself. That was Friday's messages. So we'll get them all together. Our smudge is still clearing out. Happy Wednesday. Wow, the countdown. The countdown is on. I have been, I have to be honest. Guess that's me. Honest, sometimes too honest, some would say. But hey, that's me. I have been having a hard time with this. this time of year now. It used to be my favorite, so it has been a struggle. But there's been this chaotic balance. I've met some very beautiful people that are helping me through and helping me to see me and do my self-care, because we forget to do that. I still need to do my self-care, my oxygen masks. And it's hard when your children have learned behaviors, and it's hard when you're feeling they've learned some not so nice behaviors, And I've heard it since I was a kid. Kids are cruel, right? So they can be, and I love them still. It's not there, There's no blame. It's them learning. But it is sure hard on this body physically. Then the emotional stuff, because then I'm worrying about their future and how are they going to feel. Here's that smudge. Yes, thank you. Miigwech, huh? How are they going to feel when they get older, right? Because the issues with this, it's not about that. It's about being in a wheelchair, right? Are my kids going to feel guilty that I'm in a wheelchair? That's not, that's not in the near future, That's why I'm trying to learn my self-care, so I don't hasten that, right? Because it's like it's squeezing and degenerating. So it squeezes down. Ow, sore knuckles. Squeezes down on the nerves, right? I get the shaking. I get the, lots of stuff that goes on. Physical. And that's a tough one for me. For those that know me, I'm a very physical person, right? Oh, strong like bull, right? I'm like, oh, let me lift 100. How much, right? No, not anymore. I still try, and my body says, yeah, right. What you thinking, huh? But there's sometimes I still have to, and that's okay. New ways of being, and that's okay. We're calling in all of our directions. Let's call in the east, the spirit, the fire, the place of man, illumination and clarity. Then we come into the south. That's the water, the emotions, the innocence, the child. And then we're calling in the west, the place of introspection, the woman, the physical, the earth. And then up into the north, we're calling in our wisdom years and to our wise, our own inner elder. And in north is the mental, the air, and the elder, right? And we walk this red road. Our earth walk goes from south, from childhood, where we can look back. Let's look back at our childhood and what have we learned? What are we carrying forward? And what are we letting go of, right? Which cycles are we continuing? What cycles are we breaking to create new ones, right? When something is released, it's to let something else back in. So that reflection, all those things that have felt like losses or whatever in your life, look back. Take that deep dive into it and see what came to you because that was let go, right? Is that the way to say it? Like, see what came in as something was leaving, okay? Maybe within a little bit of time there, but sometimes it's instant, sometimes it's not. So we go from childhood to adulthood up into the north, right? Where we learn to appreciate our roots and giving. And we are one of those standing people. We stand up in our wisdom years because we know that's the wise thing to do, right? Or sometimes wisdom is not saying anything and watching them grow on their own, right? And we come with the shade for the others and the support and the roots for others. And then the blue road of spirit goes from east to west as the sun, and they're always with us, right? And we have that sacred space, is that respect. We realize that this body that we had was our sacred space. This was our piece of Mother Earth. This is the only piece of Mother Earth that we do own. And again, though, it's on loan for this experience because it will return to the earth again as we return to our Father Sky. So, all encompassing. So that blue road goes from the east to the west, the drum beat. And it's that internal timing, right? Divine timing, not our timing. Though back in the day, I heard them, it was said that the elders, they knew when their time would come. They would choose that time when it was time for them to go, and they would go off into the hills, the forest, wherever it was for them, and peacefully go. But remember, divine timing, not our timing. Everything comes in its own time. right? There's a time and place for everything. Always. In its own time. Okay, and then we call in to bring it all together. The above, below, and within. There we are. Okay, and we'll spread them out for our paths and totems today. The lessons to think of, to reflect on, what we've learned so far this time of year. What are we passing on? What are we letting go of? It's new traditions. Are you blending your traditions within another family? I tell you, that was kind of hard too. Right? So whose traditions do we let go of? Whose do we take? Or is there a way to blend them so that it's everyone's and creating your own, all new? Right? Keeping some, remembering, what is this season to you? Oh, and that was my title for Fridays too, remembering to breathe. Are you remembering to breathe? Right? What are the traditions you're passing on? What are the ones? What does this time of year mean to you? What is the holidays you celebrate? I would love that interaction, to hear what you have to say. And if you get a lot, please share this out, because if you're getting something from this, there might be others to get something from it too. So share it out, and then just, hey, it will be what it will be. And I'm lost here, because what am I looking for? Books to put on top, right? I usually have them out. Ow, my finger. Oh, you know what? There might be enough space for you to see it right in here. Let's just see. So the path and totem today is purification, right? We're cleansing out, we're releasing. And that's what I've been doing for the last few days, cleansing that out. I don't want to cry on all my videos, but hey, I'm a human too, right? So I do cry. So to act like everything's okay, that wouldn't be a realistic view of me. I'm human as well. And it also would not serve the purpose of, hey, anyone else out there that feels like, oh my goodness, I'm not in a great place, I'm crying or whatever, or we're beating ourselves up for that, for our human emotions. That's why I share, right? It's not for sympathy or pity. It's also to let others know you're not the only one, right? Anybody else that has a hard time crying, right? There's somebody that cry with you, you know? For all those ones that I wanted to cry with, you know, you can see my tears there too, because those are sacred. And I made those sacred, those cleansing and purifying, and it feels so good, right? Not to keep crying, like after, because it feels like it's released then, and I'm moving through it, right? Because I'm acknowledging it. And as I've said before, sometimes those feelings, all they need is just validation. I am feeling this way, and I'm human, and that's okay. And then shift happens, right? You acknowledge the shit, and then it has a shift. We can't shift it unless we acknowledge it, right? Sometimes it can get camouflaged and it becomes part of us. We think that's just who I am. That's just part of that. Oh, it's in my sign, so I have to be this way. We choose it as we go. You know, we learn these things about ourselves, and it's not about others' opinions of us, right? And we don't hide ourselves. Let's stand out. Let's purify who we thought we were. Get in touch with who we truly are. The highest, grandest version we have of ourselves. Not somebody else's opinion, right? And we don't hide that. Stand, be you, loud and proud, right? There is times, right? Time and place for everything. There's a time to just kind of stand back and watch and observe. And then there's a times to speak out too. And there's a delicate dance and balance, because that's how we purify things, is when we come out of hiding and speak up, right? There's a big risk in that, but we are more than capable of doing that, and we are perfectly safe and protected as we do. Yeah, no, I like it better when they stand up, eh? How about you? So I'm going to stand them up there. Do this real quickly. Like that, we go. Perfect. Okay. And of course, my little likes to help too. Hey, there's my little baby me. And how about the baby you? Sometimes they just need to be acknowledged, right? Think of that, like our little children. They're needing attention from us. And hey, we're too busy, preoccupied. They do stuff to get our attention, right? It's the same with our inner child. Acknowledge that inner child. Yes, sweetie, I'm here for you, sweetie. What do you need? Yeah? Hey, sometimes it's just a hug, Sometimes it's just a kiss for that boo-boo. Like kids can. So that's still in us. Right? Our bodies have changed. We're not the same body anymore. But that little body is still in us, right? That little being is still in us. Oh, it looks like the left. He's up there taking the actions already. It's right there. The woman's right here. Oops. Hitting my elbows on that. There we go. So the actions today, right? Feel the plenty. Look at the ideas and needs that you've already manifested. Look at what you've already manifested. Right? That's the actions. Get the idea, take the action to manifest that, right? Well, day. Let's retreat. Retreat. That's the action. To step back and look at what you have already done for yourself. Look at, maybe you've already got everything you need. This is 11:11. Look at that. On the right path. You're all on the right path. You're always on the right path for you, really. The sacred path, because you're learning from it. Right? It's up to you how many times do you need to be on this, around this circle of the mountain before you go up to that circle of the mountain. It's up to you. Okay? We're all divine, free will beings. Okay? We decide. We make our lives. It's up to us. So it's that retreat. See what you've already manifested in your lives, right? What we cleansed out and made room for. So you got to cleanse before you can bring more in, right? There, 11. How is that so on the right path there? 7, that would be a 9. 911. 911. The rebirth, right? That's the wisdom. We'd be grateful because we are reborn. Every breath is a rebirth, right? We're reborn. We're not the child, right? We're born into adolescence. We're an infant, and we're reborn into toddler, then reborn into adolescence, and whatever, however you want to look at it, tomatoes, right? And we gain wisdom from each of those years and each little death and rebirth that we go through, right? Because as everything is cleansed and purified, it makes room for that rebirth, for those transformations that we are all going through. It might be tough for you. This isn't always the greatest time of year for many people. And not to be ashamed of that, right? We can be reborn. We can be grateful that, hey, we can understand that. We're not the only ones going through that. We can be grateful, right? We can be grateful and the wisdom to be gained from that. I love that. 11:11. And there's the 11. That's the north. We're in our wisdom years and passing on our traditions or renewing, having a rebirth of traditions, right? Rebirth, renewed in the highest, grandest version we have for ourselves, right? It matters not what it is to somebody else. What does it mean to us? What are the ideas and needs that manifested? And we can be grateful that we did that and gain that wisdom on how we did that. Because we believed, because we had faith, right? It only needs to be the size of a mustard seed. So it said. So, keep the faith, keep your spirit shining bright. Shine your loving light for all to see. Okay? Because it is so beautiful and this world needs it. This world needs us all to be shining our lights to get us out of these dark ages. But that served a purpose too. Time and place for everything. Right? So, love you. Happy holidays. And yeah, I'll do the live tomorrow. I will. Like I said on Friday, I'll finish up this week and we'll see about next week. Kids will be home. It gets really busy. So I'll try and pop in. But yeah, even the last few days, I haven't even been doing my own. That's why I still had Fridays. Because I haven't even done my own little thing here for myself. Because I share it with you now. Because that's what I love to do. That's my favorite. One of my favorite things in the world. To be on here, to be sharing with you. So, biggest heart hugs ever. Much, much love. Peace. And thank you for being you. And shining your light through in all that you do. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.